And welcome to Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is Ikaruga, and around here we believe that if you can watch it, you can run it. We've got a wide variety of exciting runs here for you tonight, starting off with a little mini block of some shmups and moving into games of different genres. But I would say the kind of connective tissue of tonight's runs is the different kind of rhythms and pacing of speedrunning. So you'll get to see some more deliberate runs, some runs with really tight cycles. And our first run is kind of an example of all of the above. This is going to be, you can call him Zelo, you can call him Zello, but don't call him anything other than an absolute master at shmups, including but not limited to Ikaruga. This is going to be a 1 credit clear attempt of the normal difficulty. So Zello, how are you doing?
Hi, Tree. I'm good. Hi, everyone. I'm Zello, however you want to say it. Never matters to me. This is Ikaruga. This is a wonderful shmup by Treasure back in 2001. It was originally an arcade game on the Naomi hardware, and then it got ported to Dreamcast and several other systems over the years. I'm actually playing on the US GameCube version, which was actually the first time we got to experience this in the US. It's a pretty fantastic game, but we'll get into that in a bit. But I also have one very important commentator. GK, if you could introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ghost Kumo, and I'm going to be joining Zello on the call here because this is a 1cc attempt, the 1 credit clear, the attempt to beat this game without using any continues. If he does end up having to use a continue, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But you know, we'll play along and just show you some high school gameplay as best as we can. And obviously for how difficult that can be, I am going to be doing a fair bit of the talking just so that Zello can focus.
Yep, so we'll go into the options menu real quick. So you can see we're on type 2, 3 extra lives. This is default. I'll just restore defaults just to confirm that. So this is primarily a 1 credit clear attempt, but I will be going for points as well because I get extra lives first at 3 million points and then every 5 million after. So this will be kind of a score run as well. So we're going to go ahead and click start game here. We're going to be playing on normal difficulty. GK can talk about the difficulty differences a little bit as we go. But time's going to go when I click on normal game right here in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Okay, Ikaruga. So this is a bullet hell. It's kind of the nickname for this subgenre of shoot 'em up. That means that there are going to be a lot of bullets in this game. This game being probably, like, alongside Toho, the most famous of bullet hells in the West. This game kind of had developed a bit of a cult following its release on the GameCube, and I think even the Dreamcast? I might be misremembering my timeline, but the GameCube is definitely where it made its mark, and then later ported to things like Xbox and even PC. So yes, you can buy this game on Steam. You don't have to play it on the GameCube. But anyways, the key signature mechanic, and the thing that Ikaruga is so synonymous for, it's practically the archetype name of this style of gameplay, is polarity swapping. So everything you see in this game will be firing either red or white, alternatively black or blue. So I sometimes use them interchangeably. I might say red for black.
Yeah, well, we're having the dress argument about our bullet colors. Got it.
Yes. But everything fires at you with one of those 2 colors, and your polarity allows you to absorb them. A key thing, actually, is that every enemy has a color, and when you destroy it, on the normal difficulty, if it is of the same color as you, it fires retaliatory fire. On the hard difficulty, enemies fire retaliatory fire regardless. That's one of the big differences. Normal is kind of the standard for 1cc attempts, but you can do any of the 3.
So it seems in a lot of cases here that Zello is actually purposefully attacking enemies of the same color, which, as you mentioned, fires those retaliation bullets. Why is that?
Yep. So there's kind of 2 ideas to it. Number 1, you want to destroy enemies in groups of 3 of the same color of the enemy. And that's so that you can maintain max chain, which you see on the top left. You get a lot of bonus points for that, and that racks up score, which, as mentioned, he wants to get score so that you can get as many lives as possible. But targeting an enemy of the same or of the opposite color actually does double damage. So.
Okay, and so there's a balance between maintaining chain and defeating enemies quickly.
Kind of, you want to go for both as much as you can, but in any case, but like, yeah, so you can absorb bullets of the whatever polarity you are, but if you get hit by any of them, you die instantly, as is standard for shmups. So a lot of this game becomes about memorizing enemies. This first boss here is a little bit simple. The dodge patterns aren't too bad. And yeah, just kind of sweep right through them.
It's funny, you mentioned pattern matching. I have heard it said, and not that it's the primary argument, but I've heard it said that with the patterns being as relatively strict as they are across this game, that it's almost kind of more of a rhythm game of memorizing the patterns and then being in the right place to switch to the color you want at a time, especially in some of the later levels where your tolerances for like playing by reaction are relatively small.
Yes. So Ikaruga's polarity situation allows you to get away with things that not a lot of shmups, like, since you can't get hit by anything, you kind of have to like just maneuver in very small increments of movement. This game is a little bit different because you can absorb bullets, but there is like a rhythm to learning, you know, when a thing comes on the screen. The final boss in particular has like one attack that's very much like that. That very much turns this into almost like a rhythm game.
This next section is always a little scary, and I've been messing up, so I'm going to hopefully lock in, but it really shows the risk-reward for getting score in this game. So right after I clear out this wave right here.
As chat mentions, it's sometimes it's less, once you get to a certain level of skill and familiarity, it's less about seeing the bullets and more about seeing the safe spaces and where you can move relative to them.
Yeah, this game, you kind of, when you get started in these games, you really kind of come to understand your own peripheral vision. This area is kind of you'll see a lot of areas in this game are quite claustrophobic. You have to navigate through rather condensed spaces. Two things to mention. Number one, although there is the big aura around you and your ship has like a model, your actual hitbox for being hit by opposite color fire is quite small. So you can kind of graze around things. That's pretty standard in most shmups, but it is true here. And here, I haven't really touched on this, but the key thing you actually want to intentionally absorb bullets for is that it charges up this meter on the bottom left, and that indicates your ability to fire missiles. I might say lasers. I mean the same thing. Basically, laser missiles. Which that sounds awesome. But those kind of will generally try to lock in onto enemies closest to you. So it's a good way to just clear out a lot of enemies at once.
Yeah, so especially in the cases where you have those like prolonged fire from enemies, it's a great chance to get multiple special fires in a row.
Yeah, so Zello kind of has it roughly more or less routed out where's best to release them and where best to hold on to it. You can shoot. Basically, the more full the meter is, the more spread your missiles are.
Yeah, you can get up to 12 with a fully charged meter. I'm also intentionally not going for chains here because it's difficult to manage for me. So that's kind of the balance with doing this 1cc attempt.
Yeah, there's some parts where it's just, you'll get as many points as you reasonably can, but priority for like a marathon purpose here is just to live.
Yeah, it might mean you end up with one less credit earned across the course of the game, but if you don't lose the lives trying to earn those credits, then you're still net positive.
Well, something also
get bonus waves here.
Something also mentioned, it's kind of important. Enemies with lasers do actually push you back, and that's going to become more and more relevant with bosses coming up later. But yeah, Zilla just takes that last portion at the end there, much safer. So the gimmick of this boss is you're supposed to shoot out these shields and then kind of get into the tight space behind it. And you're really seeing him graze the opposite color bullets, which he knows aren't going to hit his actual hitbox, which is again smaller than the model of his ship.
Take this very safe. I need a little bit more firepower. This is fine. But yeah, I took that very safe. You can kill that during the bullet spawner cycle, but like I said, keeping the balance between just making sure I stay alive here. And I will note that you do get points for faster boss kills, but in general, I have enough points to where I can get up to 4 extra lives on this route without a problem, as long as I play okay.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with the genre, you tend to know that there's a difficulty increase about level 3, level 4, and Ikaruga is no exception.
It's my favorite chapter, too.
So here we kind of see enemies start to... You see enemies' behavior is based, like, you know, they try to home in on you here. So here we're getting into some more tight spaces, and here's where the lasers pushing you does start to matter a little bit more. And he can't, like, not only does he have to worry about not getting shot, but colliding into walls here is bad.
Yeah, I appreciate that, like, all the previous levels have been like, all right, here are incoming enemies. You get to see what they do, and then you interact with them. This is like, all right, you can see what the level ahead looks like, but you can't exactly tell the bullet patterns just yet. Good luck figuring it out when you get there.
Yeah, this level, it kind of scales off of what the previous ones did. The first level's rather open. This level, or the second level, had sections that were rather condensed. Now this section is even more condensed and more full of enemies. Alrighty, so still maintaining chain here. This game kind of likes to group up its enemies in groups of 3, so maintaining that chain is a little easier than it sounds, but it definitely takes a lot of, like, memorizing your movements. Definitely the key skill to this level, even perhaps more than any of the ones thus far, is just really memorizing where and when things are going to be and when they fire, and then what color that's going to be shooting at you. Like,
yeah,
even
like
more so than everything
if you
else.
enjoy routing as a skill in your speedruns, this is a route-heavy game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't think the routes have changed in this game too much for, like, top-level play in a very long time. This game's kind of... Honestly, this game is kind of iconic among shmups for the extent to which people have really, you know, maximized it.
Oh, I can
So trying to clear up as much as the top as you can, and then, you know, get little bits and pieces of chains here in these interweaving with the black enemies, so he can get his combo, get like 6 there. Yeah, so he's still keeping up his chain for a good amount of lives here. Like, this game was... I remember some of the early days of YouTube losing his combo, unfortunate. It's okay, though. He beat the game here. But yeah, back in the day, this game was like one of those really cool, like... Oh.
That's a little bad because I kind of want the energy for this mini-boss right here, so it should be okay still, as long as I do this properly.
Yeah, here we're seeing these electrical...
That was close, but I got it.
Nice.
Yeah, because the parts of the mini-boss are also colored, so you have to really manage the shots here as well.
To finish my thought, on YouTube, this game had like a lot of videos of like Japanese arcade players doing things like expert two controls, or like 2 ships, 1 player, like high score runs, and it's kind of the thing that like built this game up a little bit as like sort of this myth, like this game of myth of just like how skilled a person can get at a shmup. So. Yeah,
big shout outs to VTF who did double play videos back in the day. They actually did not this game, but Ikaruga, but Radiant Silver Gun for RTA in Japan last winter, and they are an absolute master at shmups, and are still active in the community to this day.
So the key thing with this particular boss is that the boss starts to speed up when the sections around it die. So he needs to take out all of these like little bullet firing turrets on the side. But he's specifically leaving them with low HP because he doesn't want it to like start speeding up too quickly. And then eventually they also just like start firing lasers, which is just...
This is ugly. This is not how I want it to go. Got out of it at least. Oh, that was scary.
Well done.
Yeah, because I blew up 1 earlier, so there's 14 sections on that ring, and I usually want to destroy 1 at about 10 so that it speeds up in a good way. I blew up like the 4th one, so it got faster earlier than I wanted.
Got it. Yeah, you can see for that last quadrant, you were definitely needing to dive between the lasers and the remaining bullets.
Yeah, and that's the safe strat too. Doing it the fast way is like That's not something I will risk.
Right, you just yeet yourself into the middle and hope for the best.
This is like the one chapter I won't do a lot of chaining on.
Okay.
So stage 4, kind of the gimmick to this stage is that we're relatively we're like stuck into one place, and then everything kind of moves around us. It's not like, you know, traveling like to a destination. You kind of see like this big, I don't know if I want to call it satellite or whatever.
Station, I guess.
Station is kind of a good way of putting it. But yeah, and here you saw a little bit with the boss, but you're going to start seeing enemy fire get really small, which kind of starts to test your vision a little bit. So making sure to stay within the kind of the lanes and then move between the lanes at the right time. But this part is really tricky. And Zello really needs to be, because of how tight his movement is and how like precise some parts of this can be, he's really taking great care to only destroy enemies of the same color, so that the retaliatory fire that he gets hit by is not anything that he has to worry about, because there's already so much on the screen that he has to worry about.
Right, so we can, and so we can charge up and have the secondary fire available later.
Indeed. It's just, this section is just so tight that, like, you don't want to add any more bullets to it than necessary. It's kind of like a section that really escalates when you try and do this on hard, which I believe, like, score attack people do generally run this on normal. At least that's what I was told.
Having that many more revenge bullets coming from everything else is just interminable. At that point, you'd have to stop attacking as many enemies.
I'm not entirely sure.
I think the highest scoring players of this game can continue through all the revenge bullets because they are just absolutely beasts at managing everything that comes at you. I'm not as good at that, unfortunately. I have a decent score, but it's still a ways off from the top players.
That's the kind of other thing. Like, there's a lot of people in chat saying, "Oh, you know, this is one of the hardest games I've ever played," and I totally understand that, especially if this was a game you played on the GameCube in its day. Like, this doesn't necessarily have the bullet density or the extremely difficult to decipher patterns of like a Mushihime-sama or a Dodonpachi. So it's not necessarily as bullet dense as some of those, even in its worst moments, but it's so deliberate because if you're also playing for score, you need to move in very specific patterns, and that's what makes Ikaruga at high levels so mesmerizing to watch.
Alright. I should be able to get a few chains here, but I try not to chain for too long on this section because this is a little bit dangerous when in a chaining situation.
Sure.
Because it switches up at about halfway through.
On the floor here.
Other thing too is that, like, well, this game does have a reputation for its high difficulty.
Okay.
You do eventually, if you just keep playing it, it will unlock infinite continues. So it's like, it is a game that you can, depending on your definition of beat, still be able to beat. Just, you know, through sheer
It wants you to
play.
see everything, and then challenges you to do it more proficiently.
Yeah, so there's some safety valves in there to allow you to beat the game. And I know some people will say like 1cc is the point at which you've really beaten the shmup, and I kind of understand that at like the challenge yourself kind of rationale, but I think getting a little too hardcore about that might be a little gatekeepy, and I am perfectly okay if you just say like, I want to get to the credits.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, the beginning of this is the tight part, so I'm going to focus here. I have to get inside the gate. That's the hard part here.
Yeah, so once he gets up to the gate, he needs to make sure that it's fully opened and that he can actually get in there. Well, once he does, he wants to stay and keep his hitbox inside the center here to avoid all the laser fire on the outside. Then eventually it's going to start trying to push him out with a laser, but that's also just going to give him a whole bunch of retaliatory laser missiles.
Okay, good.
Yeah, a lot of good damage. Very, very
Very well done.
Very clean.
And special shout out also to the GameCube controller for making such micro adjustments possible.
Oh, I'm actually playing on a SNES controller with an adapter.
Oh wow!
I was gonna say I thought he was on like a Hori pad modded controller.
No, I have. This is the same controller I use for network transmission as well.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Wow.
the D-pad of the GameCube controller is kind of one of its weak spots. It is actually pretty decent for arcadey stick movement because it has like those notches. Like that's
Yeah,
really
honestly,
the thing
that's
that
what I thought we were working with, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean the GameCube controller is really cool. Like with its joystick, it's one of the few controllers that has a joystick with like actual proper notches.
All right, this is the last
like,
chapter right here. So
I know like
Bring it
Monkey
on
Ball
home.
Runners. You know, speaking of
Exactly.
Sega
comes
games.
from. Yeah, we notch in at this angle and we wait till this number of milliseconds, and the rest of the level plays itself.
So here you're really kind of, I mean, first of all, we're seeing the classic shmup thing of move in very small increments to get around these enemies, but also kind of what you were mentioning earlier of like that rhythm game section of like just kind of memorizing, you know, this at this point in time is when the fire, like the spray of white's gonna come out. This one's where the spray of black is gonna come out.
all right, so we have 3 final boss phases and then a sequence afterwards. And even though I have a lot of lives, this is not free.
Yeah, so this level is called Metempsychosis, which is a very cool sounding word, and what it effectively means is the transition from living to the afterlife. And it is very fitting because this level will try to kill you so much. He's trying to destroy the heads here from right to left. Just unfortunate death there.
Yeah, that's going to throw off the timing of these. We can make this work, okay?
Does want to try and keep a full spread for the next section.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, because this is the hardest phase for me out of the 3. You have to bait these worms in a very specific way.
Yeah, this is like the least automated section because the way these like worms like to follow you.
Yeah, they follow you.
Oh god.
And you don't want them to overlap too much because then they just create impassable terrain. So you kind of have to manipulate them in such a way that you can clear out the laser with one, and then that kind of creates some space with the other.
Yeah, I forgot to switch right there. This is really, really off the rails, so hopefully we can kill it here. Okay.
Nice.
Phase 3.
Yeah, this part's very timing based. You kind of hear like an audio cue and then you spin and switch. So it just kind of comes about dodging all the fire here and then keeping your polarity switched.
It's like playing the end of Felghana for you.
I understood that reference.
Limit break.
Okay, I at least got through that
Very
phase in
nice.
one turn.
Nice.
Very nice. Now we're on to Stone Like, the final true obstacle, and so time is going to be basically a minute after this starts. You'll see a timer on the screen. We do get a battle report. Generally, you want to try and go for S++. S+ is honestly not bad, and considering you took 2 deaths, like, it's pretty solid. So yeah, we get one final single minute here. There's no firing, you just have to get good at dodging everything. So
Yeah, this is the Stone-like. This is actually the antagonist of Radiant Silvergun, and this game is a spiritual sequel to it, and kind of is a full sequel if you want to think of it as the time loop that started at the end of Radiant Silvergun. But we're going to finish it once and for all here.
So yeah, you kind of see the white fire moves a little faster than the black fire, so just kind of switching very quickly on the fly. Very timing heavy once again.
Kind of like trying to play polyrhythms. You've got 2 different sets of rhythms interacting with each other.
I've listened to enough Leprous to understand this.
Almost got through that without a death, but yeah, time's coming up. And time.
GG.
That is a successful 1cc.
Successful
And
1cc.
how?
Bravo.
Couple of lives left over.
Yeah, you actually do get 500,000 points for every extra life you have left over. So that's actually not. Yeah, 23 mil. That's
3 million.
That's not too far off my PB. Like my PB's 25 mil. But the ending here, we sacrificed ourselves to destroy the stone like once and for all. And unfortunately, the cutscenes and such are kind of. There's no text in the English version, the GameCube version, but you do get this lovely last scene with the birds flying away and wonderful music.
If you're wondering, what does Ikaruga mean? Well, it is the name for I believe it's called the Japanese grosbeak. It's just a species of bird. So, yep. It's like one of those many things that sounds cool and then you translate it and it's actually something kind of mundane, but it's a really neat little cutscene there. But yeah, this is a really cool game, so just being able to do the 1cc in a live setting like this really is really quite awesome. So congrats, Zella.
Very
Thank
impressive.
you.
A treat to be able to see. Thank you
Yeah,
for showing
this
that off for us.
Ikaruga is legitimately one of my favorite shmup, even though I only play it in spurts. I am using the same disc that I bought from a friend in high school in 2005, so thanks, Alex, for letting me have this.
Nice.
But this game is amazing. Treasure made some amazing games back in the day, really off the wall, and this is just such a treat. And like we mentioned during the run, this game has such a very high scoring scene that has been active for the last 25 years it's been out. We already shouted out Mamachi for RT in Japan. Big shout outs also to Juju Kenobi, who showcased this game at Speedruns last month, which GK you commentated for in English.
Yeah, that one was for like a high score run. So getting a little something different this time.
Yep. So I'm just gonna.
I believe that run is also why he recruited me for this.
So we got our final results right here, just of final chapter scores and everything. We can just see my leaderboard real quick before I turn this off. So yeah, I had a third place score right there, which is pretty dang solid.
Very
all things
impressive.
considered. My goal is to eventually get to 30 mil before I put the game down, but I have other projects that I need to attend to, so we'll get back to that eventually.
Dang, you set all of those records today, huh?
Right?
Yeah, I love GameCube Clock.
That's a lot of practice runs.
Unfortunately,
It went so smoothly.
Unfortunately, I must run for work in a bit. So GKT, y'all have anything else y'all need to say?
Yeah, no, just thanks for having us. It's a good time. So
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Excited for the next game because I'm actually kind of a big fan of Team Ladybug stuff. So I know DRAINUS was kind of their first departure from that. So hope y'all are excited for that as well as I am.
Yeah, so thank you so much to the both of you for being here to show off Ikaruga, and with the perfect segue from Ghost Kumo, I will say that if you enjoyed this shmup run and are looking for something else similar but just a little bit different, stay tuned for more shmup action here on Out of the Box. And welcome back to Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is Tree, and you are here in the middle of our show. It's kind of a grab bag of different genres, but we have, after our one successful one credit clear of Ikaruga, we have another shmup here for you. A game that if you recognize parts of it, you're probably going to recognize the visual style first and foremost, because this is a Team Ladybug game from the makers of Touhou Luna Nights and Record of Lodoss War Deal It in Wonder Labyrinth, along with their original game Blade Chimera. So this game is DRAINUS, and we're going to be seeing a easy or one loop clear of the game from Mr. Cab. How are you doing, Mr. Cab?
Doing good. Thanks for having me, T.
Always a pleasure. Glad to hear you're doing well. So yeah, tell us a little bit about DRAINUS and what we're going to be seeing here.
So, like we were just talking before this, I didn't know about Team Ladybug at all. Friend in chat, actually, Shibachino, I think he's here, told me about this game and just knew I was a Gradius fan. Was like, hey, Cab, play this. I'm like, okay. And, well, here we are. I kind of fell in love with it really fast. If you like Gradius, that's how I recognize this. You got the horizontal shooter. We're going to get power-ups. It's going to be fun. And I guess we should get started.
Yeah, I knew if I was going to have a shmup block in any show, I wanted to do a vertical shooter and a horizontal shooter. So thank you for being here and providing.
Cool. Yeah, thanks again for having me. So I guess without further ado, let's get going. Someone was joking about maybe we'll do this again one day. So I'm going to go down here to save file 10 on purpose. There's a few different difficulties here. We're on easy. Obviously, that makes it a little easier. We've gotten through on normal. I haven't actually played Hard or Ridiculous yet. Arcade has one little trick. My favorite thing about this game, if you just want to pick up a shmup and just have fun, there's a little selector there to have a little bumper, so I don't have to worry about my up on the D-pad betraying me and sending me into a wall to crash. We're going to use that. We're just going to skip the tutorial. I think we know what we're doing. So it's a shmup. We've got our ship. We've got somebody who's helping us steal a ship. We're going to go and take down a space
frog
empire.
Friend. Everything is good.
Yeah, we've got Frog Friend.
And we've got chat giving us the Konami code to make sure we have enough lives to get there.
It's caret VV less greater than. Which one's less than and which one's greater than?
Greater than, less than, greater, and ba.
Ba. Yeah, that's it.
So with the power of sheep, we now have 30 lives.
All right. So we start time on gaining control, which I think is right after. There's 2 text boxes here at the beginning. Carlisle Empire. There we go. That's our bad guys. So if we're ready here in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, like I said, Gradius. If you like games where you have little bars of power-ups on the bottom of the screen or on the top of the screen, this is going to look really familiar. We're getting stuff, we get things. Unlike Gradius proper.
And I see we have a system for absorbing bullets, or rather for not getting hit by them. And in this case, it's a guard rather than an absorb, looks like.
It's true. On the bottom left of the screen is a little guard meter. And every time I start holding down the guard button, I can absorb bullets. My ship's going to send them back out to counterattack too. But on top of that, those little bottles that are forming up in the top right corner of the screen, those are termed energy tanks by the game. And we want those.
Okay, so there is something of an idea of absorbing to this then.
There is. Besides counterattacking being really cool, it's going to give us some energy tanks. It's going to give us that super bomb meter in the bottom right. And those energy tanks are going to be used to actually buy our power-ups so that we can actually get some cool things. It's almost like...
Also, of course, shout-outs to energy tanks. You know, as a Mega Man player, you had to play
I was resisting the urge to go there, but yes.
No, of course. How could we not?
Eating. Don't worry, we're going to get the better Mega Man reference later.
Excellent.
But here's a little mid-boss. We're going to see those super bombs in just a second. I still want to absorb energy both to fill up those E-tanks. I want to get up to 4 of them by the end of this stage. But super bomb. So super bombs are giant. I believe they even term this the hyper beam. While we're using that, we have a little bit of invincibility. We're erasing shots in front of us. We like the hyper beam until we get the ultra beam. Spoilers.
So if the Vic Viper from Gradius did one of those beams, would it be a hyper Viper beam?
The hyper Viper beam.
Exactly. That's
too close to hypervisor. I'm getting work nightmares now.
No, I was going to say for the couple of dozen Marvel vs. Capcom fans who happen to also be watching right now. Or maybe just like the 5 of them, 3 of whom are in this call right now.
I need to play more of that. I think I have Marvel vs. Capcom 3 sitting around somewhere.
Oh, it's always Marvel time, baby.
Let's go. So, that was our planet. Or at least the one we were just on. And, I feel bad. This game does have a little bit of flashiness to it. So, a little late, I guess, but better late than never. We're in space. We're dodging the pieces of our planet. So, like I said, we want to get up to 4 energy tanks here. Those E-tanks kind of fuel our ability to buy upgrades. That includes getting us up to number 5 on the top, so we can have 5 upgrades. Also affects our ability to actually buy what those upgrades are. So, if you're a Gradius fan, you know, I want the laser. What's this double shot doing here? I mean, it's nice. The disc doesn't do anything. It's nice for plot. It's good cutscene. It's a lot of good context in the work that got put into this game between levels. There is a plot here.
Yeah, again, you know, you admitting up front that you're not familiar with Team Ladybug style so much, you dipping into this menu, people who know Team Ladybug's games, like, this is a Team Ladybug menu. I recognize that menu super intensely from the likes of Record of Lodos 4. But yeah, like, the very distinct visual style, the, like, certain environmental objects having the really, like, thick outlines, helping you better visually detect platforms and other things you can use and not, which has a very similar usefulness here in a shmup, helping you better understand, you know, parts of the terrain and enemies versus other pickups.
Here's our next trace. Trace, that's my favorite option. I mean, bit.
Okay, yep. And we're just calling them bits. There's no edifice here. We can use that name too. It's a good choice.
We got bits. So, yeah. So far, it's just I want to kill this thing faster.
Sure.
One extra thing here, when I do have full power-ups, every time I pick up one of those power-up lanterns, I get half of a super bomb instead, which is really nice for just being able to kill things. There we go. There's a couple of spots there, like you saw in the first phase of this, the ship was coming left, and it just stopped once its health meter ran out. This ship was about to go into another sort of an invincibility phase. So, like a lot of shmups, there's a lot of auto-scrolling. There is a lot of auto-scrolling. But, it comes down to how fast can I kill the mid-bosses to some extent, or do other things. So that's where, in arcade mode, you can really only do this here, and explore this whole upgrade menu between stages. In all the other difficulties, you can just pause whenever you want and go in there. But ask any RPG runner where all their time goes, and it's going to be menuing. So I don't really want to go in there that often time-wise. And if I have to, I have to. But
yeah, I mean, optimizing your menus is a time-honored tradition, but
it really is.
As an aperitif, as a break from high-octane gameplay like this, it could honestly be more bring your brain to a screeching halt.
True. Sometimes you just need to stop. There are some bailout options in there too. Like later on, there's a super bomb option that lets you just get free power-ups for your super bombs instead.
Okay.
Might have caught it earlier. I did take a hit in that first stage, and instead of just dying instantly, we'd lost one level of our power-up. So the game's very forgiving as far as getting started.
Is that specific to being on easy, or does the game, does the power-up system work that way?
It definitely works that way on normal.
Regardless of difficulty. Okay.
But, and on normal, I haven't played on hard yet. On normal, I know there's a lot more retaliatory fire. You destroy a ship, and there's a bullet that's coming at you. This is one loop for easy, so even on the second loop, sometimes you're going to start seeing those shots come at you. I think normal it's a lot more common. You start getting into that bullet hell mentality of every time I destroy a ship, there's a shot coming at me. Oh no, there's like a wall of 20 ships in front of me and they keep spawning. And every single one of them is spawning another shot. I'm not worried, you're worried.
You're not worried, you are already dead. Nani?
Quite possibly.
It's the meme image of the dog staring into the sunset. The light enveloping its face.
Oh no. Yeah, we have a little freedom to use super bombs. I want to get up to 10 E-tanks in this stage, which for some reason, like the first stage just doesn't give you anything, and everything after that, it's a lot easier to start getting stuff for your upgrades. At 10, for 2 E-tanks, I can buy another power-up slot, so I can get to 4 and even to 5 for another 2. But it costs 8 to get an attack power upgrade, and that's what I want. Actually, I was doing my practice run right before this and just blanked on it, and yeah, that boss took an extra few seconds of shooting with the laser to take down.
Oof.
This is probably one of the longer stages in the game. It's nothing particularly difficult. It's just long. It just keeps going. It just gives me some time here to sit here, figure out if it's saying like guard shields ready every time I absorb something.
And honestly, just more time to like the 2D, 3D look of the sprite work for the enemy ships in this game, and getting to watch them turn over is really such a treat. The visual style is one of the most distinct things about Team Ladybug games, I would say, which is kind of why it makes sense that they've done some notable licensed work. Like they did a really good job adapting Record of Lodos War and its aesthetic into this style, which, I mean, in the 2020s, making a Record of Lodos War game was a pretty out there choice, but I think they did an excellent job of it, and I'm glad to see that series get revived for a very different era than the one it originated in.
This game, like you're saying, it's beautiful. It's a lot of fun. As far as like going back to the energy for 5 seconds. It's the purple shots that are the ones we can actually absorb. I think it's like a darker purple if there's a physical projectile. We'll see some missiles against this boss. And we can't absorb those. We have to actually avoid those. What else just happened here? I activated my speed up there. That's actually kind of a funny thing as a Gradius player. If I just hold L, I can just change my speed whenever I want. Don't have to worry about getting a speed up power up or anything like that. So that's very nice. And it's usually sometime in this level that I remember, oh yeah, I can go faster.
You know, I honestly hadn't quite intuited that. I was just watching how well you move and didn't quite grasp the idea that you have that much control, which is awesome because there are so many shmups where you move at the pace you move and maybe you get a power up that speeds you up later, but having the ability to do that freely, I have to imagine, makes it so much more immediately accessible to get into a shmup because it's like, yeah, I can get wherever I need to be. Like, if I want to go faster, if I'm comfortable, if I'm feeling up for it, I can, just jet across the screen. And if I need to stop and think about it, that's an option too.
True. That's why I stopped at 7. I'm pretty comfortable at speed 7. There is a speed 9 up there, and whee!
Oh yeah, yeah.
It
That's a
feels
little
too
squirrely.
loose. Just come right back down. We went through the menu a little slow there just to get to the attack times 1.2. It's kind of similar to other games, right? I can only have one upgrade of a given type. At least I think I can do that for like the lasers and the missiles. I'm sorry, I just pressed start past the guy that you sent me the image of the other day. I've analyzed your data. You can't beat me. Bye, dragon ship. Let me grab this. So yeah, a lot of the early bosses, it really is just how do I balance hitting it with more lasers, but also like getting more super bombs so I can
also, I like
those
threaded nuts or something. They basically looked like a home repair like washers or screws coming down the lasers. Like he's literally threading his attacks down the line.
I never thought of it that way. It was just like, why are these weird things there? Like, obviously, it's a physical object to try and stop you from just hanging out inside of the energy beam forever. But yeah. So that's 2 of the polycores that we're destroying here. And this is where we find out, oh yeah, the frog friend, I guess his name is Genie. Genie's from the future. He came back to help us, destroy the evil empire before they were able to take over all of space. So he jumped back.
If humanity's future is to become frogs, that's not so bad. I assume they're actually distinct races, but I'm making my own headcanon here as we go.
There are things. I think he was specifically made for this trip to some extent. It's
okay.
not really. I haven't gone back and like really poured over all of the lore. Game too fun.
Exactly. There are
all those discs I'm picking up that has a lot of lore. There is one of him talking to, I guess, the political leaders of his era.
I see.
So go check it out. Play this game, please.
Yeah, genuinely. Like, especially if you're a fan of Team Ladybug games, you might already have it if you bought the Team Ladybug bundle that has Ho-Ho, Luna Knights, Record of Lodos War, Blade Chimera, which is also a Metroidvania, and a slightly more action-forward one than some of their others. And then also this. But yeah, I mean, like I said, they have bundles on Steam. So if you own the other games, you might be able to get this for even less than the sticker price.
I'm gonna have to go the other way and try their Metroidvania after this. Woo! Super bomb. So I've been talking about how many energy tanks I want every stage here. This one I want to get past 6. I've been talking about using the hyper beam. Next, I want the ultra beam. Yo. Ultra beam feels like it's just a bigger hyper beam, but it does do a little more damage. I tried to do a playthrough yesterday without the ultra beam, just like maybe I could save those 60 tanks, use them for something else. And no, like
didn't work out.
Dying slower.
Yeah,
it's subtle. Like it's one of those things where like this goes for like a lot of speed runs. You try something and you just notice, hey, why is that like oh so slightly longer?
Yeah. I mean, that's the nature of routing. You know, if you ever watch the likes of summoning salt videos or the kind of stuff that describes, oh yeah, you know, what they had to do at this point was figure out a new route to make this thing possible. That doesn't necessarily happen all at once as an idea out of the blue. It's one of those like, hey, I'm going to try this. All right, this was faster on this one level by a significant enough amount that can I work this in with everything else that I'm already doing in the run? No? Okay, let's take another step back. If I did this other thing differently, then could I do all the rest of it? And you just kind of keep tweaking it one element at a time until you find a run that's faster overall.
I also have not like really put a lot of effort, and I kind of want to. Every time there's like one of those lightning bolts on the screen. I can just sit inside of it with the shield up, and the super mob meter goes up. But I don't think I get a ton of energy tank ammo out of it unless I like leave and go back in. It's like trying to figure out like what is the optimal way to be able to get these power-ups.
Is there a different kind of movement with those that'd be better in the long term? Okay.
Exactly. And we're just doing one loop right now, right? There's a leaderboard for one loop. There's a leaderboard for the full game. There's a leaderboard for loop 2 as well. So you start running into questions like, there are different power-ups that become available only during loop 2. Do I really want to buy this power-up on loop 1 just to replace it in loop 2? Do I want to save those? Can I get away without doing it? To that end, you'll probably notice I'm probably not going to get a shield.
Well, yeah, I mean, just simply don't get hit and you won't need any.
Yeah, exactly. But then the shield is nice, because even though there are some shields that only block physical projectiles, some shields only block energy, in loop 2 you get the shield that blocks both. And even then, you only lose a power-up if you get hit. And the power-up you would lose then is the shield.
Gotcha.
Those missiles are definitely physical projectiles. I can't absorb those. I got to avoid those things. This is probably my least favorite boss in the game to some extent. Like, it's not that hard to get past the first couple of cycles. And this is where I get to say, like, shout outs to Gradius 5, because the stage 3 boss in that game is also a giant, like, mechanical crab wall spider thing that's just a pain to try and hit. Like, my lasers are not going to go through this at all, but the Ultra Beam does.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
I think you're supposed to, like,
somewhere. I was thinking
open the legs to be able to absorb
energy.
energy and counterattack, and that will go through the shell. But that's slow and painful.
Gotcha. I was thinking this is more like a, speaking of treasure and our previous run of Ikaruga, I was thinking like a Gunstar Heroes. It's like you got to wait to get to a certain point where you can actually start fighting the boss. You just have to, avoid it for a little while. But
Can we talk about Izumo's face for a second?
Yeah. That's a little bit intense.
That's just a little intense.
Look, I mean, if you're gonna use the that and your lives, then yeah, you got to have a good intense look on your face.
Please give me my ship back so I can kill you. Sure, whatever you say, boss.
So you mentioned up at the top that the friend in chat who recommended that you try this game knows that there are certain other shmups like the Gradius games that speak to you. Are those a longtime passion of yours? Have you speedrun any other shmups?
I have not really speedrun a shmup. I have Gradius 5, and we still joke about Destroy the Core. Just like anytime anything comes up, wow, that thing got away. That's fine. Gradius 3, I think, was the first one I played, like way back when. And, it was just fun. Never really got particularly great at it, although now, how many years after it first came out, I can get through Gradius 3 on easy if I don't take any hits and manage to actually survive that mess.
Right.
But Gradius 5 was just a lot of fun. I've played Ikaruga. I've played a few of these games. It's, I don't know. It's fun. I don't feel like I'm like pressured to have to know like every single jump, especially a game like this where it's recoverable.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things that people like. The kind of the most the pillars of the genre are those ones where whether it be a side-scrolling or whether it be a bullet hell, are those kinds of ones where you have to be on literally the entire game to succeed at, or what people would count as succeeding, whether it's a 1 credit clear, whether it's
put this thing on.
whether it's making sure you don't lose your additional power-ups or whatever, which is always important for a Gradius or a Raiden or what have you. But yeah, it's really nice to have games that are in this style where one mistake does not mean the end of everything. Because I feel like that takes a very particular kind of player and a kind of focus to be okay with that, especially to try to show off in a live status. If you're just running one of those error intolerant games, it's like, well, I can just throw that run away and start another one, and there's a certain sort of zen to that. But to do those in a showcase scenario is a very different proposition.
A little nerve-wracking there. Even there, that was starting to get a little dicey. That top section, I need to actually destroy all those giant sphere cannons that come out. Otherwise, the camera never scrolls back for me. And this is a game, like, the reason I gave the estimate I did for this was, like, the whole give your worst time estimate in case something bad happens. If we start taking hits and losing the laser and losing the bits, things are going to take a little while to kill. So, you can still buy 2 more. So this is where you start getting into, right? What's your menuing? What does everything actually cost? Having to know, like, okay, the second bit costs 3, the third bit costs 4, the fourth bit costs 6. Super bombs start at 3, then they start going up from there in cost. I don't need a ton, but I definitely want more than the starting 4. So I can just sit back and just hold down the super bomb button on a few bosses later on.
Yeah, so there's a certain extent to which your route through the level, such as it were, is drawn across enemy fire patterns to make sure you can get those extra E-tanks for things you want to buy later.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't measured out exactly how much do I get from this, how much do I get from that. We haven't broken into the game's memory or anything. But there are plenty of times I've absorbed a single shot, and the little robot voice says, "Energy tank ready."
Nice.
And so it's like, every plus one matters.
That one was worth it.
So situations like this too, we're just going to keep going into, I guess this is the battleship's exhaust port.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just hang out in the thruster. Gotta let this thing recover a little bit.
Yeah, that's a big beam. You gotta. There we go. Those are the secondary exhaust. That's the main exhaust.
And yeah, the camera's gonna go back that way in a couple of seconds. It's going.
Considering it was the last 2 minutes or so of us talking to get back to the front. Okay, we're not staying in the front. Got it. For a second there, I was thinking
we'll get to the front, but we're gonna go there the fun way.
Okay, excellent.
I just want to hang out in this long enough to see a little piece of blue appear in that bottle. Of course, one shot should destroy that. On normal, a lot of enemies do have a little bit more health, and it's noticeable once you've played the game a few times. So sometimes on easy, it's like, okay, oh, it's dead already. Cool, I'm okay with that.
Right, and on the flip side, the alternative becomes, hey, you've lost the power-up, and suddenly you're in a much more difficult place earlier than you expected to be because you're on normal instead of easy.
One of my favorite Gradius tricks. The trace bits, as opposed to any of the other ones, are nice because you can do tricks like this and just get them through a wall that you wouldn't otherwise be able to shoot through. The other options are the classic sort of it spins around you, which is nice because that one at least also it stays on the same level as you. So when you're aiming at a boss with a very narrow hitbox, you're going to hit it, and that's kind of what I want. The formation bits are nice. It's an old favorite of mine because it just looks cool to be with the flying V, you and the crew going in, right?
Yeah.
But
classic Top Gun stuff.
Yeah, but it's just not great for hitting a single target.
Sure. I was just geeking out at the visuals of those pistons in the middle of the ship there. Somebody mentioned in chat earlier that so far as they knew, these are actually all 3D assets that are literally just manipulated in a 2D space in a really expert way to make them look 2D. Yeah.
Like you said, everything just looks beautiful. I think I'm still shocked. I mean, I'm taking away from the visual thing here. I'm just shocked that the little blue spark that's coming out of them is more energy you can absorb. It's like, what? When you get damaged by it the first time, you're just like, wait, what? But yeah, like the game's gorgeous. Like we keep saying, I could say it another 20 times and I wouldn't be tired of saying it.
Well, you got about 1 per minute for the rest of the run here, so pace yourself.
Gorgeous.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll hear from you again in about 70 seconds. Got it.
Gotcha. Gigant shall destroy all. I like the eye patch. So yeah, the game is starting to fill up the screen more with annoying things I can't really do much about. I can erase all those shots with the super bombs, but I can't just sit in that laser forever. That would not end well.
Right. Especially with the additional projectiles coming from around it. They're basically challenging you to say, hey, do you want to avoid the big beam or do you want to try to avoid everything else? Because you don't have enough guard to do both.
It wasn't really noticeable there, but I'm pretty sure if you destroy that top one fast enough, the bottom one never starts moving.
Nice.
So it's another one of those, if you see a speedrunner do it, you're just like, huh?
Exactly.
And then you go to that same stage and like, wait, where's this pattern coming from? I've never seen that before. It's like, if nobody says it, you'll never even notice it. Thanks. So this is where Governor General Izumo tells us that our ship is sending all of our flight data back to him, so he's using that to complete his own stuff. Layla, who, if you were reading earlier, you figured, oh, that's our sister. She's very upset that bad things are happening here now. What do I want to do? I just want more of these. Get me to the next stage. I think I still need one more bit, but we'll get it later. That's fine. So there's plot happening.
There's also lots of screen coverage happening with the bits that you have now.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, hard to argue with those kinds of results. That's one of the things that I've always appreciated about power-ups in these kinds of shooters is they recognize that they're sending so much at you, and because of the the aspect ratios of monitors, first starting out as 4:3 and now 16:9, an even more exaggerated version of the same, or 16:10 for extra widescreens. Like horizontal shooters have always given you the option to see more at once as vertical shooters, and so they tend to have more enemies, more obstacles, or like move faster to put you into the same number of obstacles with less prep time. So giving you those tools like bits, like allies that can fire at other parts of the screen that you can't, helps take down the mental load of what you have to pay attention to at any given time when we're dropping bombs. Yeah, I didn't even notice the dropping bombs earlier, but of course when we didn't have anything under us.
I was somewhere in the last stage. For a long time I was using a double shot so I can get the stabilizer in this game. So I have shots coming out up and down diagonally behind me, which is really nice, especially in like the previous stage. There were some enemies spawning behind me.
Right.
It's really nice. Here I could like sit in front of this here. But these bombs are just too good. Started using it yesterday, and as far as places on the screen where I can't shoot the enemies, this guy takes advantage of the classic 2D hiding spot, the background.
Nice.
This guy's really annoying, and I'm pretty sure like those bullets actually like just drain our shield really fast, so like the guard shell just goes away if we're in them.
Ooh.
There's more shots faster on normal. I'm kind of afraid to play on hard. I should try it one day.
I can see that. I understand why.
And if you are sitting behind those panels when they explode, yeah, that hurts you.
Of course.
And we're going through this entire section like with no extra power-up lanterns appearing, or whatever those things are. So we're just flying.
So any hits you take, you're dealing with for a long time.
Yeah. And then he shows up here, and if you have like just the pea shooter left, it's not fun.
Very nicely done.
I definitely want to get this last one. So speaking of completing their own version of this ship.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But of course, they're mass produced, so they only have the level 1 power ups.
They completed their own. Let's go through a wormhole. You know, they can go through wormholes too. Our friend Frog has a point there.
Yes, but they can't show up at the back of the screen like we can, so we always have the benefit of being behind them.
Yep. And since I get a super bomb back for half a super bomb back for every lantern, and they all drop one, they all start shielding as soon as you hit them once. So yeah, I could just hit them all with super bombs.
Nice.
Sorry, guys. And this, as much as I say I like Gradius games, I don't know all the lore. We've come out somewhere with some unidentified thing. I'm pretty sure this is the tribute boss of some sort. So it's got 3 forms. Whatever this mess is.
Yeah, this is the perfect time to be able to fire at more than one height at once.
Oh, definitely. And this one I'm pretty sure is a Gradius boss. Just get those in there and then just really end it. I don't want to use all my super bombs though, because after this, I said we were going to have another Mega Man reference, didn't I?
You did.
Doesn't actually
boy.
form up into a devil shape, but
That's what the yellow Rubik's Cube.
it's a blue and gold Rubik's Cube.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong picture.
I don't know. So the bombs really help here. But if I hit this with the super bomb, it just locks into place. The missiles have actually made it a lot easier to take that thing down.
Nice.
I don't know what it was either. But some visitor from the multiverse. Planet, I just went right by it. I think it's planet E316. Some mysterious blue orb somewhere in space that humans live on. Run away. Zuma's a terrifying man. This is the main reason I want to match through the text instead of just holding start to go through, because otherwise it freezes on Layla getting shot, and it's a little bit of a what just happened moment. So at this point, especially on easy, I feel pretty good about my layout. I don't think I need to go for anything. If anything, maybe one more super bomb for shoutouts to Comet Striker. I'm calling it the Reanimator. There's a mid-boss in this level that kind of mimics a couple of the other mid-bosses from earlier in the game. But you can just kill it really fast and you never see those forms.
Nice. It's funny, talking about bosses and shooters being references. The block-styled enemy, again, being that I have Treasure on the brain right now, made me think of one of the bosses from the Gunstar Heroes series. What's its name? It's literally made out of blocks that come together. I think it's in the Ruins level. Bravo Man? Yeah, okay. I just double-checked it. It is, in fact, called Bravo Man.
Bravo Man?
Yeah, Bravoo, Bravo. Literally just showing off the Genesis' ability to rotate sprites. It's made of a bunch of cubes stuck together, very much like the boss we just defeated.
Why is this boss not dying? It's because I haven't used a super laser yet.
And chat mentions and agrees with you that Comet Striker is in fact pretty okay.
What's up, Eldra? That is another easily accessible shmup. We'll play that one too. Play all these games. This whole section here. So our quest was to destroy the 6, I think they call them polycores, the Carlisle Empire. And we've destroyed most of them at this point. It's got kind of one left. This is kind of weird because I want to like position everything in the middle of the screen even though I'm not there yet. Did I get them all inside of it? Is that...
Yeah, there's an enormous quantity of shmups, both obscure and classic on Steam alone. So if you want to play a shmup, if the games we're showing you this evening are of interest to you, there's so much good stuff. I was introduced by a friend recently to the Gray's Counter series. Well, maybe like a year ago at this point. Gray's Counter and Gray's Counter GM. There's the likes of like the kind of ship-based shmup. What is it? There's one that is it's more of a 3D spaceship game, but it's also a roguelike. There we go. I found it in my Steam library called Reality Break. So there's just a ton of good stuff that has the shmup tag on Steam. So if that's something that's of interest to you, definitely go check out the tag and find some new games you've maybe never heard of.
Just pick up new game, start timer. Congratulations, you're a speedrunner.
Pretty much. Play it once, play it again after with the timer running.
Who knew dragons are powerful and hard? Actually, I want to try and fill up here.
That's always true until they join your team, and then they happen to be like baby dragons. Which, you know, shoutouts to Flammy. I love the Mana series, but I don't think you ever get to use a fully powered dragon on your team in most games.
I think the best you get to do is fight the wind. Forget what they call the demon things that popped out of the seeds, and I guess it's Trials of Mana now.
Mm-hmm.
I really need to finish the latest game in that series, but we're coming up on the last boss here. So this is again right. Loop 1, we're pretty much done. Loop 2, I'm looking at that 9 E-tanks in the corner and smiling because I know the good laser in Loop 2 costs 12.
Yes.
There's also another super bomb for Loop 2. I think it's the Hurricane Bomb. It's just this giant orb of damage, and like all those like bosses and mid-bosses we've seen that are very circular.
You just give them the orb instead.
You just give them the orb, and there is no like the front of it blocking it. Izumo shall execute you now, and it's like he just seems so excited. I almost hate to disappoint him.
I mean, I appreciate that there's no need for a villain monologue.
He kind of gives one later, I guess. I wanted to save that one, but it doesn't matter. Damage is damage. I mostly want to save it because I want to kind of save it, but using it there also clears out all of the excess stuff on the screen really fast. So this is final form. Time is actually the credits, so don't keep a trigger finger on the timer just yet. I wanted those. No, doesn't matter, I guess.
Very nicely done.
Yeah. So I don't. Is this a Team Ladybug thing where our hero is like, I know you just like did all those terrible things, but I'm not going to kill you. And
I mean, kind of yes and no, because the character they pick in Record of Lodoss War is like a great warrior, but is also kind of the moral conscience of the group. So it's not out of character.
Turns out our sister wasn't very dead and picked up another DRAINUS and decided to absorb the self-destruct attack on this weird, mysterious blue planet somewhere in the distance.
That won't have any ramifications, I'm sure.
Man. And so loop 1 is as soon as we see words on the bottom of the screen. Now.
GG's.
Nice. 37 taking the relaxing route. So that's DRAINUS Loop 1 on easy. Play this game. It's fun. It's pretty easy to just pick up. You have a lot of different options, a lot of different missiles, a lot of different bits. You'll have all your familiar friends and then more.
Yeah, you don't have to finish your first run of this game with 14 spare lives and 10 spare energy tanks.
It's true. Like the first time through, especially like all those quick kills, that boss in stage 3 where it's like, if you're trying to kill it the quote-unquote normal way, you're going to be there a while.
And as it says, not the end.
Not the end. So this was loop 1. Jeannie is our time-traveling friend from the future and is just asking us, so if we could do this over again and not sacrifice our sister, would we do it? Second time around's never any harder, right? Right, Tatri?
No, of course not. Why would
Nothing
you do
bad's
like...
ever come out of time travel, so.
Oh, yeah, also true. Yeah, well, that's not the end of DRAINUS. That is the end of our single loop showcase. So thank you very much, Mr. Cap, for showing that off for us. Where can the people find you if they want to see more stuff that might be or might not be like this?
Come on over twitch.tv, Mr. Cap 55. I'm on YouTube as well, but mostly streaming on Twitch. Usually you'll catch me playing, what am I even playing right now? DRAINUS, a little Mega Man. We've got the Mega Man 7 tournament coming up later this summer. And maybe I'll just be playing Minecraft, but you can still come in and talk about any of this stuff. We'll have fun. We'll talk about all those New York sports teams and how they're doing. At least one of them did all right.
Yeah, no, so I heard. All right. Well, from these two shmups into more games with tight cycles and tough execution, coming up next, it's going to be Toree 3D. Stay tuned for more Out of the Box. And welcome back to Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is the T-Tree, and while I am looking forward to telling you what's coming up for the rest of the show, I also want to tell you about what's coming up on the channel, including Juneteenth, Black in a Flash's next event, which starts tomorrow, June 18th, and runs through the 21st right here on the Games Done Quick channel. You can use !Juneteenth in the Twitch chat to learn more and see the schedule. And I expect to see you there because those runs and their runners are absolutely fantastic, as is the runner of our next game, Toree 3D. If you thought the shmups that we've seen so far tonight were really high precision and high action, this is not the same perspective at all, but it is just as technical and difficult, and who better than King J 0444 to show it off. This is an all-stars run of Toree 3D.
Thank you for that introduction. Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm King J 0444. You may know me as the guy who runs way too many games.
Yes.
Because
I mean, I don't see that as a bad thing. You say too many games. I just say, like, anytime you want to see a cool speed run, turn on King J stream.
True, and the game I've been working on a lot recently is Toree 3D. This is a bite-sized 3D platformer by Siaktra, who has made a bunch of these games. Each of these games that he makes, it's like $1 each. So if this looks any amount of interesting to you when we're going through this, pick it up. It's $1. Like, but with that, I also have a commentator joining me. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Cherry, Wild Cherry Meteor. I also run this game, or used to, and ran all the games of the series. And King J here makes it look really easy, let me tell you. He came onto the scene somewhat in like a little under a year ago and just was destroying it. So this is going to be an absolute treat. Even finding new strats literally as literally streams ago, just looking up world records. So super excited to commentate this and be here.
Yeah. Also, can I hear what option won the poll that we just put out?
I can definitely tell you that we had a Twitch poll because you were talking about wanting to know if you should use the new soundtrack or not. And rather than deciding amongst yourselves, you put it to chat, and chat said, no, you decide amongst yourselves because the chat tied.
Is it 50-50? Okay.
It sure is.
All right. You know what? Cherry, you decide. Go.
New sound. You know what? Let's do new. We're new world records, new game on Hotfix, new soundtrack.
Perfect. All right.
Sounds like a plan.
So, yeah, this is I don't even know when the original released or like where you can find it. Everybody just plays this one now, but this is technically a re-release of Toree, the first one. So yeah, that's what the old soundtrack is. It's from that original release, but I've never played it, so I don't know. But yeah, the category we're doing today, there's 3 different characters. We're gonna use just the base character Toree, and we're gonna be collecting all the stars. Each of these 9 levels has a specific amount of stars in each one, and so it's basically the 100% category. So with that being said, I'm going to not talk for the first like 3 levels because there is so much to focus on and a lot of cycle based gameplay. So the time's going to start when I restart this level. So time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's jam.
Absolutely. So what, like you were saying, the goal is to be getting all these stars here. And so what King J's going to be trying to do here is actually find the ultimate, like the fastest path to get that. And it involves a lot of like really movement you wouldn't expect, like going over and just glitching right through that fence there. Like this is a very big cycle level, edge runner. There's a reason we start off with these 2 levels when doing this run. It's because they are very reset heavy. It's all good. But it's all cycle based with these trucks going down this highway. And so he's going to try to make sure to time all these as he goes while he gets the stars as well.
Honestly, this reminds me in some ways of other games that Joey runs, like some of the Mario games that have, Bowser segments that auto scroll like this, and also the indie game Cluster Truck. If you've ever heard of that one, I think it's just the
I have not.
presentation
But
that reminds me of that.
a game like that sounds so interesting. Wow.
Of course, Joey would know about Cluster Truck.
I know all those obscure indie games. I got you.
Indeed.
That was a really clean segment. That is a death heavy segment that he just got through with all those bees. That was really
Oh, and that's unfortunate. Yeah, so I died in this level, so I don't really know the death cycle that well because I normally would just reset if I messed this level up. So.
Sure.
Do you want to explain the level exit glitch?
Absolutely. So what at the very end of this, you're going to see him pause the screen before he gets on the goal flag, and the reason he's doing that is you can actually exit the level early via an exit level glitch. So if he pauses on the same frame that the Toree's jumping on the goal, he can exit out, hit the goal, and it'll still count as the level being complete. Let's see if we can pull it off here.
Nice. Okay, good.
Just like that. If you hear the Toree go okay, everything is going okay. That was perfect. It was really well done. It's not easy to do.
This is probably one of the tightest levels in the run now because of the strat that I included yesterday.
This is the most difficult level, so I definitely want you to lock in. You've got this.
One little bit of coyote time there.
Oh, there's a lot of coyote time in this tree. This game is the coyote time, the game, really. Like you utilize it a lot, especially on this level, to get as much length as we can between these jumps. So far, so good here on Neo Osaka. So this is really clean.
Yeah, there's one specific cycle we're trying to hit at the very next part here, but in order to do it, I need to get this tight jump. Nailed it.
Oh, that was incredible. That may look so easy to y'all, chat, but that was literally absolutely incredible.
Okay, I actually got that. So there's only 2 people who have done that cycle before. So
it even looked more swag with you kind of going on the side like that. That was absolutely awesome. Wow.
So by the way, I learned that last night and I got world record with it. So because of that, the fact that I got that here, I'm actually really shocked about that.
It cannot be understated how difficult that is. That is so clean. And he got an exit glitch again. So
yeah, so if I mess up the exit glitch, that basically means that the level didn't get completed. If I happen to mess it up, we'll just continue. But yeah, basically what you're trying to do with the exit glitch is you are quitting out of the level as the fade out is happening. You unpause, and for that brief few seconds there,
the level technically continues playing, which involves finishing it.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as you hear Toree celebrates, that means that he finished the level. Oh, I barely hit that. Okay.
Clean. That was a clean cycle there.
Oh, and I hit that.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, that is awesome.
On some level,
that is a really
the
hard
platform
cycle.
was pushing you up. It's like, all right, you're close enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, the difficulty here seems obvious. This is some real high acceleration. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
got some funky hitboxes too.
Nice.
Very good. Okay, those are the 3 hardest levels. I'm so happy I got through those with minimal deaths. That's fine. The deaths on the first level is whatever.
No, that was so well done. That was so absolutely well done. You expect to die a few times on Edge Runner and Neo Osaka just because that's how difficult they are.
Yeah, those are the most reset heavy for sure. And this game is very very optimized. If you look at specifically at the main category of this game, which is any percent glitchless, those runs are, some people are split up between half seconds.
Yeah, I figured it was the kind of timer that has to go out to milliseconds on speedrun.com.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's why, like Joe was saying, that's why we start with these levels. So you just reset and you can get right back on it because again, they are the most difficult.
Yeah, these ones, as you can see, it's a little bit more leisurely here, just a little bit.
This level does have a surprise here, though. For those who don't see it coming, it becomes a horror game for a second. So I won't take away that.
Yeah, just a little bit. And then right here, we're actually
it should be the level that teaches you the ice physics because these are big open spaces, but just getting you a sense of how terrifying it can be to control at this speed on ice physics.
Yeah, so the top levels, like the top row levels, are kind of like your introduction to those areas. There's a jump scare, by the way.
That was a little spooky.
And then the bottom levels are like basically taking those mechanics and like one-upping them a little bit.
Got it.
Clean. 4 out of 4 so far.
All right, so now we do this level. So this is this. If you couldn't tell, this game's very Sonic focused. This level really shows that.
Yeah, this level, this is the one of the notorious levels in any percent where you have a fan glitch where you can skip a lot of portions on this, but since it's all stars, he's going to be actually going through the whole thing and getting all these stars here and making some, again, a lot of coyote time. Look at that jump. Like, just floating over nothing.
You know, I definitely feel like I should be in Robotnik's mech watching this level.
There's also this really cool skip here.
Yeah,
Nice.
huge. That's a great that's huge in any percent glitchless.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm currently working my way through all the categories, trying to get like an optimal time in all the categories of this game, and then I'm eventually going to run every single Toree game. That's my eventual goal. But I'm starting from one game and moving to the next.
List open for you because you were talking about the first game, etc. This is the first game, and then there's Toree 2, Toree 3D Jumble Jam.
Yeah.
Toree Genesis, Toree Jolly Jam, Toree Jumble Jam 2, Toree Missions, and just last year, Toree Saturn.
Yes,
so you got plenty to do.
So some of those games actually, by the way, we mentioned that this game's $1, but some of those games like Jumble Jam and Toree Genesis, they are free on itch.io. So if you want to join us and speedrun these games, do so, because it's really cool. And I want to see more people run this game, and that's partially because I became like the head mod for the game series. Don't ask how that happened in like a year, but
well deserved. Let me say well deserved. Very well deserved mod. Like,
I was gonna say they see you being good at and passionate about games, and they're like, yeah, that
very
makes
true.
sense. Let's just let him mod.
Pretty much, yeah.
Apt description for sure.
But yeah, so I'm making my way through running all the categories for this game, and then I'm gonna move on to Toree 2, and I also already ran Genesis a little bit. But the main categories I'm not sure if I'm gonna run or not is any percent glitched, because fans in this game are a little annoying. Okay. And I don't know if I want to. Basically, you can like build up speed. Oh, that's unfortunate. You can basically build up speed by going on the underside of a fan and build it up an infinite amount, and it just launches you. So I don't know if I'll run that or not, and if I do, it won't be for a little bit.
Yeah, so at that
it is a really easy glitch to
fan
pull off,
setups to yeet yourself across whole levels.
Yeah, basically. That's what Cherry was mentioning in that last level we just did. You basically just fly to the end of the level. It's really funny. Yep. Right here, we're gonna do a nice little skip here. Oh, okay, my game lagged a little bit. That's fine. Oh, I didn't get the quit out. It's fine. So this is what we
don't
normally
get
would
when you get it. Yeah,
this is what we would skip. Yeah,
it was nice to get to see it once.
Yeah, for sure. The reason why I have so we have an 18-minute estimate. I just got a 12:54 last night. The reason why we have that high of an estimate is, as you can see, the checkpoints are pretty spread out, and sometimes I'm actually going to skip the checkpoints instead of taking them. So deaths are pretty punishing in this run. So yeah.
They're important in all the other Toree games too, like making sure to take your checkpoints when you need them, because deaths will happen in a run is very important too. But sometimes, like Joe was saying, it just is a time sink to go get a checkpoint versus just keep going.
Every half second in this game matters. So all right, there we go. And these games are also pretty much all these games are on Switch as well.
They're very accessible. Like, I mean, they're $1. They're easy, really simple like controls to pick up, but like again, all the stuff that he's doing in this run is really tight timing based, really tight cycles.
Okay, that was weird.
Welcome
I don't
back.
know what happened there. My game lagged there for some reason. All right. I don't know what happened there.
Dude, it was glitchy. It was glitchy in this game, because there's a game called Glitchy that glitches the game out. So that's happening here.
So I see. You see, he's right there in the background, being creepy.
Okay, I have had this issue with playing this game where sometimes it does lag like it is right now. I don't know what causes it, so unfortunately, we're just going to have to deal with it for this run.
Game is like, no, sorry, you're too good at this. How about we make it harder?
Yeah, basically. All right, so there we go, and we're just going to jump over here, get these last stars, and another little bit of a jump scare here.
There's Glitchy.
So that's actually the
Public
final boss.
Invoke character ID is 0. I am activist. Sorry, I was trying to figure out. I assume that's the code for the game, but I'm not a programmer, so I couldn't make sense of it that quickly.
That time I actually did the Quiddo glitch so well that like the
spooking
sound didn't.
from the last level was still there. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's actually supposed to happen. He's just supposed to be there. He's kind of like taunting us. This is the first level you're supposed to play. But what I meant was I did the Quiddo glitch so well that like the audio of like finishing the level didn't even play.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Chat is suggesting that it's not your PC doing it. The only other person who could be doing weird things to the stream is producer Richard.
I knew it.
It was him all along.
We were talking about this before. He doesn't like me. Just kidding. Maybe.
No, Richard be thinking to himself, no, I do like Joey, but this is much funnier.
So this level is pretty relaxed. We do have a final level though. The only rule for this category and these all the categories for this game is that you do quote unquote the final boss last. There's not actually a boss fight, but the level is called It's World, so we'll be doing that one last.
And like this is a fun point where you would never see on Glitched with the fans, you would just be flying over all of this. You'd be like all the way up into like liminal space up in the air and then fall right on the goal. So like seeing this is such a cool way to see this level done, because it really is a fun level. It's iconic now. I think it's been redone in like all the other games too, especially Saturn. So
yeah. All right, so I gotta get the quit out here. There we go. Nice.
There it is.
8 out of 9. That's clean.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so now we have the final level here. We do have 50 stars that we have to collect here. So just a heads up for time. We got maybe like a minute here. But time is going to be when I hit the final level pad, and that will be the end of the run. We do have one tight cycle that we have to hit on this level because, you know, it's Toree. It's a very cycle-dependent game. So that is what we're going to be aiming for. And it's also very punishing. If I mess up with that cycle, I'm going to get sent back like 40 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
That's the nature of Toree, though. That's the nature of Toree 3D. Is it so cycle heavy?
Yeah.
Gotta get that checkpoint. Don't need it.
The other Toree games really build off of this game really well. If you watch, if you decide to look at the more recent game, Toree Saturn, it is like night and day. It's a whole different thing.
It really is. Like, that was primarily the game I run, and it is just such a different game from this, but this game is just as difficult and challenging for its own reasons.
Yeah. All right, so I gotta make this jump. Nice. And then we're trying to make this cycle here, so we can make this jump. Nice. Okay.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent,
all right,
dude.
So get ready on time, because we have these little treadmills here, and then that will lead us to the end of the level.
That's 50.
There's 50. Yeah, doing this, I think this is the first time that a Toree game is on Hotfix, so I'm very honored that I get the opportunity to do this. Thank you, T-Tree, for having me on.
Same.
And time.
GG's.
All right.
Well, let's go. GG.
I will.
Great run.
With the, I don't know what was happening with my game there, so I'll take that. it jittered a little bit a few times, but yeah, that is Toree 3D. Shoutouts, if we didn't do it already, shoutouts to Siaktro. He is a solo developer of the entire series. Also, a game that has been at GDQ before is Kiwi 64. He also made that as well. So yeah,
McBat
yep.
too.
Oh yeah, and McBat.
That was
yeah.
at GDQ.
Yeah, so he's had games that have been at GDQ. Toree, hopefully we can see that at GDQ in the future. But yeah, that is Toree 3D. Thank you everybody for watching, and definitely check out the series if you like 3D platformers. And this game you can beat in an evening, so I definitely recommend it. Any shoutouts for you, Cherry?
Absolutely. No, just you absolutely amazing run though from you. You such a pillar for our Toree community. Like, Joey came in and just really became such a backbone. I mean that in every way. Like, we needed a mod, need people to approve. Like, he's been such a blessing for the Toree community. But yeah, just like if you're interested, definitely join it. Such good people that love to play this game and love to do it. So and thank you for having me. I'm just the not as good as you at this game, so I'm just honored to be here. So,
Hey, you're way better at me than at Saturn.
for now, you haven't gotten to Saturn yet. For now,
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I plan to run every Toree game, making my way through the categories. This is the most recent one I started really grinding out. So Toree 2 is going to be relatively soon. But yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, please. All of you look forward to that. This is the first appearance of a Toree game on Hotfix, but if Joey has anything to say about it, it will not be the last, especially if I have anything to say about it or some of our other hero runners who love indie games. And hey, if you're watching GDQ, if you like shows like this one that we have for you tonight, we want to hear from you because Games Done Quick is looking to learn how you watch speedruns the most. If you have a few minutes, please head over to gdq.gg/survey, maybe in between our runs here, and let us know what you want to see on this channel. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to the next run we have coming up. It is a very new game with a whole lot of style and a color scheme very similar to this one. It's Dead as Disco. And welcome back to Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is Tree, and I hope you've been enjoying the wide variety of genres and styles we've had for you on tonight's show. We're going to mix it up one more time. This is going to be a game with a rhythm similar to some of the shmups we saw earlier tonight, but with a style all its own, closer to Toree 3D. Also, the newest run relative to, I think, the time. Maybe if you were here for episode 2, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii was this close to its release date. But this game, Dead as Disco, is actually still in early access and so new that I think we saw a new patch drop just yesterday while our runner Jacoby was getting ready for this run. So Jacoby, tell us about the all bosses run of Dead as Disco.
Hello everyone, I'm Jacoby. So as the teacher said, we're going to be doing new game, all bosses. So while I set up the file here, we got to go through a bit of a tutorial first, but we don't count that during the run. So new game, start from new file, all bosses, all currently available bosses. Just beat them as fast as you can. Any upgrades are available, any glitches, any patch, any exploits, anything you can use, just beat the bosses as fast as possible. I have a couple commentators if they'd like to introduce themselves. Doesn't matter who, just someone start.
I'll take the lead on this one. Hi, I am OG Happy Dude, or as the overlay says, Uncle Happy Dude today. I am one of the moderators for Dead as Disco, and actually, everybody in this call in some way, shape, or form, minus a T-Tree, is a moderator for this game. So if you happen to have any questions for any of us, just go ahead and chat, and we'll try to answer them during the run.
The legend is back. Okay, like my part, I'm Sirs. Also a moderator, like OG Happy Dude said. And then first I joined like a normal runner, and I wanted to moderate to help the leaderboards to make it more enjoyable. And we are gonna have a great gameplay today.
Later known, as you can see on the display. I also started as a runner and basically decided the same thing, that I just wanted to be able to help out. And I mean, yeah, I wish Jacoby the best of luck on this run.
All right. Thanks, everyone. So before we start, there is some dialogue that happens normally before each of the levels, before you can select the difficulty. So we go through and clear that beforehand as well.
That's good.
You're also allowed to get.
There.
Yes, it is. You're also allowed to grab any upgrades. You start out with 1,500 fans, or like the upgrade currency. So you're allowed to do any upgrades beforehand that you can do. So time starts when I confirm the difficulty by clicking on it here. So without further ado, let's get into this groovy run. We'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So, starting this game, as you can see, is a rhythm game. Action, a lot of action. a lot of fighting as well. And something important to have in mind is you have to attack on beat, so you deal more damage to the enemies. If you attack off beat, there is nothing wrong. You are just gonna deal less damage to the enemies. Same for the bosses of each scenario. But the most important part about this, if you do the perfect beat on a mechanic called Fever Rush, which is the blue bars under the hearts, it's gonna regenerate a little bit of energy. So yeah, you have to be on beats most of the time, which also gives you more points, which also means more funds. So you're gonna have to try and be on beats.
Okay, so in my mind, I feel like especially viewers of this channel, aficionados of rhythm games that aren't just strictly rhythm games, are going to be most familiar with a game like this from something like Hi-Fi Rush from a few years back. Obviously, this isn't necessarily as much about like special moves and button combinations, but are any of you familiar enough with this game or that game to speak to like similarities and differences?
Sadly, I didn't play that game, so I cannot speak.
And I just downloaded Hi-Fi Rush for the first time earlier today, so...
Oh, well, heck, enjoy yourself. You're going to like it.
I was going to say, I don't play that game personally. I've heard it's a great game, though. I thought about grabbing it.
I think the difference here is that this is really much more about the BPM and like the speed of the song dictating the action, whereas there is a somewhat more deliberate... you know, that goes more in the character action feel of things, and then doing your actions to the rhythm enhances your actions, which again is similar to this, but this is much more about the pace of the enemies, and combat is dictated by the speed of the song.
Yeah, it's more like enjoy the game and enjoy the music.
Yeah. Chad also mentioning that a thought that I had earlier about how this is kind of like the rhythm shooter BPM, or bullets per minute. The rhythm timer or the beat counter across the bottom is very reminiscent of the one in that game, kind of helping you visually indicate while you are intaking all this other stuff and figuring out what to do with what action and what rhythm. You know, that beat counter is like, all right, here's your beat if you need an extra way to keep track of it.
Yeah, it's
Ooh, and now yeah, go ahead.
It's the beat counter is not on by default, but it is one of the many accessibility options that this game has, which is great. There's two types of beat counters as well. There's the one on the bottom, and then you'll notice around Charlie's feet in that little pink circle, you'll see that's another beat counter.
Yeah, pulsing at the same intensity. Makes sense.
That one, the one around the feet's by default, right?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
I was gonna say, I believe that one is by default.
They escaped me. One of the biggest things about this game is that what it appeals to me was that they do have a developer Discord for it, where you get all the news and updates and whatnot. And they actually had a Spotify playlist from the devs with the music that they have in the game.
Ooh, nice.
They have a cover of Final Countdown.
Okay,
that
I'm
I
listening.
recommend that everyone seek out after the run, because it is one of the best versions, and I heard it for the first time, and it put a smile on my face.
Right
Every
on.
single song in this game is a complete banger. Even like streamer mode, on or off, the songs, the beats per minutes per levels do not change.
Yeah, smart.
So it allows you to enjoy like different tracks. Like if you do get burned out playing the original songs, you can switch to streamer mode,
right,
and you still have the same experience.
And as I understand, there is also a version that lets you put your own music into the game and play levels to that.
Yes, there is, and that has also been really fun to mess around with.
Yeah,
Infinite Disco.
Dennis Disco developer Discord actually has a full channel of like songs and then links to like YouTube videos to use, and also has the beats per minute of those songs. Where
Nice.
all you have to do is insert those songs into the game.
Right, you can program your own version of it. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So we're expending our, what was it? You said it was the beat rush mechanic that we're using earlier. How does Jacoby trigger that? Is that on the R2 menu that you see in the bottom right, or does that?
Yeah, exactly. It's a special ability that you can use. It's the default ability of Charlie, or protagonist. He's, from what I learned, and I suspect he's the batterist of the band. So he uses sticks to hit the enemies, the bosses, and all that. That's why he's so good keeping the rhythm.
Exactly, right.
And something I didn't mention was the mechanic of the bosses. They have like 3 phases, 3 different ones, in which you're gonna see the health bar, the purple one you are seeing right now, and the ones you saw before, which was yellow. That's like a armor for some kind of reason. And you need to break it first, so you can progress on the boss fight. It's an interesting mechanic, to be honest.
All right, so we should be finishing up on him right now. At the end of every boss, we have a cool little section where we take their weapon and we use it against them as we gain a new, what are called idle powers. It's kind of like Mega Man that way. For every boss that we defeat, we get a new power, and we can upgrade these powers in the skill tree. So right now, I'm going through and getting the upgrade for the one we just got. I'm getting the 2 final upgrades called moving Base Invader to Super Base Invader. And that's going to really be, now that we've unlocked it, that's going to really be our main DPS for the rest of the run.
Not one of the shmups we had on this evening, but a good reference all the same.
The secret weapon.
It is a great
I
weapon.
mean, a good bass line is the secret weapon of a lot of songs and bands. It is very true.
Exactly. Something good as well of this game, as you can notice, the first song was how it's called? The one we heard?
It's like rock.
I don't remember.
I was gonna say, I think
It was
it's
like punk rock.
punk.
And
Yeah, it's like
now
rock
we're
and punk
hearing
music.
Prophet. He's more like a rapper. So you have genres for everything. You have rap, you have punk rock, you have K-pop, you have metal, you have everything.
Yeah, it both helps keep the game fresh, and I think it's a great proof of concept for the game having a, add your own song in. It's like, hey, we are already proving to you through the story mode that you can make all sorts of genres work.
I remember I asked a friend to give me a song for playing on Infinite Disco, the level you can play infinitely, whatever song you want, even the ones you put on the game. And he gave me BTS, the K-pop band.
Sure.
And dude, it fits so well. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I could see a lot of stuff that typically doesn't fit in super great with rhythm games. Stuff like symphonic metal probably feels really high energy, really triumphant when you get to the high points in a song. All right, let's break out the Bass Invader.
Yep, a little bit of tech is we are able to charge it during cutscenes.
Nice.
As long as you start it
sense.
before the cutscene starts. What allows it's because in order to get the Super Bass Invader, you do need to charge it a certain amount of time. I think it's a full bar. A lot of these songs are in 4/4, minus a couple meter changers here or there during transitions. But so we need to let it charge a beat. So doing that during a cutscene when we can't do anything else or a transition is always very good.
And I would say that it does have a pretty lenient time for when you start it, because sometimes you can also start it during the cutscene.
The funny part about the Prophet boss fight is that during the first phase, right before the transition, the verse that you hear, the words are physically coming out of the speakers.
Right.
And if there's enemies that actually do damage or that are in the way of those,
they'll get hit.
It'll actually deal damage to the enemies, to where it's like it'll hit them. So if you kind of like put yourself in a situation where you have like a big giant group like there was, they'll take all the damage and you can actually
nice
skirt away from damage that way.
Another interesting fact about Bus Invader is there is two ways of using the Super Bus Invader. The normal way, which is gonna be a green glow, and the Super Bus Invader, which glows kind of pink, which does more damage. Dude, it shreds the armor of the enemies. You're gonna notice because there is one.
Yep.
That's the Super Bus Invader.
And is that off
As
of
you
like
see,
you use the Super Base Invader after a counter or other actions? Because I do keep seeing we're doing it right after the that button prompt over his head.
You can use it whenever you want. It's time it to the beat. So if you do it on the exact time the beat hit the school down, you're gonna do the Super Bus Invader.
Yeah, there is a skip
We didn't
to
the skip.
yeah. There's a skip to skip this phase. You can do three perfect Super Base Invaders, meaning that you get the pink thing at the end of it because you use the action on beat. But I did not. I missed the first one, so we did not get the skip. I tried to fix it with a takedown, but I wasn't able to do so. It's a very tight time to get it with the takedown.
Yeah, it is hard.
I'll say it is pretty tight timing for that.
I've never had him near that car before. Oh my god. Hold on, skill issue. Interestingly enough, while Prophet's in the air throwing that car at you, his hitbox on the ground is still active. So you can use attacks on him while he's there, as long as you get out of the way of the car. Oh, I didn't charge that one up all the way. That's fine.
And he can also TPE and boogie himself out of the arena, as you can saw.
Yeah, I was
I
close.
was gonna say you were really close to that.
Yes, that is still a known bug. So thank God we didn't get that.
Yeah, that would have been
was
an
close.
interesting problem to solve.
Yeah, realistically,
It would be awful if you start running there.
One thing I do want to say is that you'll notice that he also is restarting the level before returning back to the encore. And that's because that saves, I don't know how much time exactly, but it saves a little bit. I want to say it's like a total of like 10 seconds throughout the entire run, if not more.
So someone in chat actually said that this game is a love child between Batman Arkham Knight and Hi-Fi Rush, and I love that.
he's right. Whoever they are, they're right. Whoever they are, all right. Bit of a freeze framing coming.
Yeah, it's one of our fellow runners, Rose, is the one that brought that up.
Yeah. Oh, big shout out to Rose. They and a lot of other people are doing really great work in routing the run, coming up with new strategies on the new patches. They were doing some work earlier with another runner in our community named Thought. They're great. Without their stuff, I don't know that we would be as far into having this game as fast as it is.
True. Because I remember I thought the sub 24 was almost impossible back then, and then one of these fellow runners just came and was here you have 23. Sub 23 is possible. And I was like, what? I don't know.
Didn't they get sub 23?
No, not yet. At least on New Game, this category, no, but New Game Plus is already sub 21.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize that. I was thinking New Game Plus.
Yeah, world record right now for chill new game is a 23:27.
And for New Game Plus, I think it is 2054, if I'm not wrong.
Yep. Both records are held by Thought. So they've been doing some work. And we've been learning a lot because of them.
Yeah. Big shout outs to both of them. They're doing really great work. So, because this is a rhythm game, if you haven't noticed, a lot of these kind of waves, there's not really much way to speed them up. On Hemlock's train, to get past the first 2 doors, you need to defeat the enemies there, so that can get sped up based on how fast you're able to defeat them. But, and there was that one guy in Prophet's level right before we went to the big office, where we had the speakers with the words that Happy was talking about earlier.
The bouncer.
Yes, the bouncer. But a lot of these waves, we just kind of have to go through and wait. Our big speed tech really comes into the bosses. Speaking of the boss, we're moving on to Aurora. She is the singer. I believe she's like a robot. She's a robot singer for the band Dead as Disco. And we're going to pray for some good meteor RNG. The way to beat this phase is she'll throw meteors down on the ground. Oh, okay, that might be bad.
Oh, no.
It's fine.
Oh, no.
It's all right. It's all good. Typically, we got good meteor spawns, but I did get hit by the AoE on the ground there. So if I didn't get hit, we 2-cycle. If I were to hit all of the meteors. But that's fine. As long as I get decent meteor spawns in this next time, I'll be able to move on from phase 1 by the end of Stars.
And as long the enemies doesn't block the way of the meteors.
Yeah, alright. Okay. So we should still be able to clear by this second set of stars. But there's a mechanic. If you perfect dodge, you end up an attack. You end up homing back to that enemy that you got the perfect dodge on. So because of that, that messed up the... Okay, and that enemy blocked the star. Alright, so we just need one more meteor. There we go.
Yeah.
Alright, on to phase 2.
Classic.
Yeah, classic
enemy behavior.
And Aurora RNG.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the enemies really like getting hit by those meteors.
They do. Okay. That was on me. That should be good.
There was a glitch on this boss fight, in which got fixed on this patch. When you used the Prophet ability, which was a gauntlet that let you parry and make an uppercut like a Street Fighter, it make a rough fly into the air, and if you use a takedown token, there was a little chance of her AI breaking down and just staying on the ground. Which it had potential, but it was so random, and it got fixed, so there's no way to replicate it right now.
Alright, there we go. Bit of a rough phase 2, but we'll it's fine. Alright, so moving on to phase 3, nothing really changes in between the two phases, except she now throws meteors at us, and her big kind of water form in the background will do that AoE on the ground.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mix of both the last two phases put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her
Okay.
is one of the most annoying bosses.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, she dodges a lot, she moves a lot. Those waves on the floor can make your boss invader go to waste because it stunned you.
Yeah, it feels like this fight is a lot more about manipulating or being manipulated by the arena as
Yeah.
opposed to just directly confronting the boss.
Yeah. Hemlock
Oh,
and
yeah.
Prophet are pretty standard like that, but Aurora's a whole different beast.
Or strategy for Aurora is use Rage for good RNG.
Effectively.
Yeah.
Pray for good
I think
RNG.
Aurora, yeah, I think Aurora has the most RNG out of all of them. At least in my opinion.
All right, so we're gonna go back and get this upgrade allows us to the upgrade I just bought from Hemlock's tree allows us to not be interrupted if we are charging a base invader and get hit. Previously, we would get interrupted and we'd lose our meter that we spent on it and we'd have to recharge it up. But now we can take, I believe, 1 or 2 hits before we lose our meter and we have to recharge. So that's very helpful on Aurora, but because of in the new patch that came out yesterday, which was a little jarring, it reduced the amount of energy gained from this attack, the one I'm displaying right now, which changed very much the first 2 bosses. It made the first boss slower, and in response to the first boss being slower, we didn't get as many fans, or those upgrade points I mentioned earlier, and it didn't let us get all the upgrades that we wanted to get before we fought the second boss. So the run had to be kind of changed, but for at least just the first 2 bosses, but for the most part, these last 2 are pretty similar to what they were pre-patch.
Adding something to what Jacoby said, the glitch was simple. On Hemlock stage, for some reason, when you use the bar using the default ability of Charlie, the Fever Rush, using the battery sticks, for some reason you gain a lot of energy bars. It was insane. You have infinite Fever Rush, so you just spam it. Back when the patch wasn't released, so Hemlock was almost dead before his third phase started. Now it's almost impossible.
Yep. So there's a glitch that I encountered yesterday. That we'll see if we get it. It's not any time save, but it's also really funny. So if you charge a base invader from this transition into the other one, all right, we didn't get it. There's a chance you just get launched up into the air. It doesn't do anything. You don't die. I mean, you maybe lose your combo because you can't do any actions while you're stuck up there. But it's just really funny.
Kat says the dev team who is currently watching hopes you didn't get that bug. Thankfully you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
A shout out to dev team, by the way, for watching. Big shouts to them. That's really cool.
So a little backstory on that is that as soon as the demo dropped, I hopped into the developer ran Discord, and I was sitting there like, God, this game has to be speedrun at some point because it's at its core it's a brawler. So with me and my arcade brawler senses were tingling, I'm like, this has to be a thing. And then lo and behold, here it is several months after the fact, and they've been really cool, really kind, and shout outs to them for developing such a really cool game for us to showcase here today.
now on this boss, there is a skip. Very interesting, and I hope we can get it on his second phase, called Pyramid Skip.
I hope I do too, Zers. I'm gonna be.
Let's bridge.
Yep.
Because it is hard. It is really hard.
It is a decently hard skip.
Didn't it make it harder in the new patch too?
Yeah, new patch did make Pyramid Skip harder.
So yeah.
But it's still doable.
It is still very much doable. I pulled it off
Let's
2 or 3 times today.
You got this.
So it's called Pyramid Skip because we're on a pyramid and we skip it. That looks good. And I flubbed it. Oh well.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'm gonna explain it for you so you can focus on the fight.
Yeah.
The pyramid
Thank you.
skip, as Jacoby said, skip this whole part, so you didn't have to fight these enemies like shadow clones for for this long time of period. You shredded the yellow bar of decks doing the 2 boss invaders and a takedown, which leads directly to his third phase. It says 1 whole minute, and it's the biggest skip we have right now on the speedrun so far.
Yeah.
It is, as we said, it is harder on this patch, but it's doable.
I also found out ball skip is possible there. I got it 1 time, but I'll explain ball skip. We could have done it in between phases 1 and 2. But what it does is if you were able to make him not throw those balls at us that he did in between phase 1 and 2, by hitting him as he flies away, the easiest way to trigger it is with the drumstick toss move. But yeah, he just kind of sits up there playing his guitar without really hitting us. Which makes Pyramid Skip easier, but it's not at all optimal anymore. Once we figured out that we could do Pyramid Skip without doing it, because you lose out on the damage. And time's gonna be on this input. Time. Sorry for the late.
No, I didn't
late
realize
there,
you were that close to time. So thank you for saying something.
Honestly, me neither. Until I hit and I was like, oh crap, time's coming up.
Yeah.
Our dev friends say, if it helps to know, we don't have any plans to intentionally fix Pyramid Skip. As we develop, it's possible it gets changed due to other changes and a knock-on effect, but we aren't looking to patch it out.
Oh, great. Yeah. They are.
Thank you.
Dev team is so nice. Great with the speedrunning community. Very, very great with the there's a really, really alive and thriving modding community that they encourage as well, and they're really nice about all that stuff.
Oh, what?
So
are you curious to know your time, Jacoby? Because
I am. I kind of do want to know.
It's a good number.
yeah, a 28 flat.
Yep.
Interesting.
28
Okay.
000.
That's not as bad as once I missed Pyramid Skip and Profit Phase 3 started going a little weird. I was like, we'll probably get like a 28 or 29. So yeah, that kind of lined up, but yeah, that's better than I thought would with the mistakes. It was probably closer to 29 from what I was thinking. So there was discussion of custom songs earlier. So with custom songs, there is also custom challenges that you can make. So
Yeah, let's see what.
we will be doing one. It is we'll be doing a custom boss rush. However, this is no standard boss rush. We're going to attempt to do the boss rush with the modifier of double time. So the game is playing at 2 times speed, and we are doing this on. We go over to free play so that you can see the BPM. We're doing it on Neko Let's Go, which has a BPM of 194, the highest currently in game. So doubled, we're hitting a BPM of 388. So
That's a number that music definitely happens at.
Yep, that is Yeah, I mean, the interesting part is that I don't know the game can register 388 inputs a minute.
Guess we're gonna find out, right?
Yeah. So we can do. It'll be the same kind of thing from earlier. We'll be timing our base invaders to get the perfects, dodges, counters, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna take a couple attempts at this. Pretty sure I can clear it. But if not, no big worries. All right. So we'll start this challenge in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
I am here for the chaos.
Like,
This is
genuinely,
chaos.
good
Such a
luck.
fun
It feels
challenge.
like luck might get important at this point.
Look at this.
It is so fast.
I feel like Sonic right now.
Right. I've played Sonic Frontiers. I know what happens when you collect all of the power-ups.
On failed attempts, what's really funny is that the game is moving so fast and you're taking damage so quickly that the game does not play the death animation.
Perfect.
You're just sitting there until the game realizes that you're dead.
You're just too fast to die.
The hemlock down.
You're trying to do those projectile dodges at this pace.
Oh, this is gonna be hard.
I feel like I'm watching somebody on a sugar rush right now.
That's what I feel like.
The rebel.
That should be Aurora down. There we
Yep,
go.
there it
All
is.
right, now
Oh,
Dex.
wow.
We're on Dex.
I don't know if it is my idea, but since the BPM are so high, even Boss Invader is making more damage.
Yeah. Gosh, these counter chains are just... I imagine it's somewhere between feeling it out and just mashing it out when you see that they're there.
All right, there's that one. All right, on the last boss, we're doing Prophet last because he's the. Honestly, he's the worst to do in this challenge.
Some bonus health.
Yeah, he
We'd love
just
see
likes to
that.
go up in the air.
I believe.
You can do it.
We should be fine at this point. But I have failed better attempts, so we'll see if we can get it. I think we can. We should be finished now. Time.
Jeez.
Yo, let's go.
GG's.
Oh, I was really nervous for that one actually. I was pretty nervous
Look
for
at
that.
you. Look at you
Oh.
being all badass.
I was gonna say, I don't
Look
know
at
if there's
you.
any way you've not be nervous in a challenge like that, but yeah, just what, 2 minutes and 10 seconds thereabouts. Very nicely done.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was Dead as Disco. This is a great game. Go play it. It's active. With it being an early access, you have a very the one thing that I've learned about these devs when they're making the game is that they absolutely listen to fans, which is really nice. They're so kind. So go support the devs. Go buy Dead as Disco. If my run's not enough, there are plethora of challenge runs, speed runs, custom content out there that people have made and they're actively using. And there's so much more that people will make. And it's just such a great time. So yeah, if anyone has any shout outs before we go.
If you would like to
say,
oh, go ahead.
I want to say to the dev friends, unless you release a new broken weapon, Boss Invader is gonna dominate the speedrun leaderboards probably. So surprise us.
For definitely a while.
Also, if you're wanting to get involved in the speedrunning side of things, the SRC page is speedrun.com/dead_as_disco. Make sure you go to the forums for the Discord link. If you just go to the, if you use the Discord link as a part of the header of the website, that'll direct you to the developer Discord. We're really open with tech. We educate and we teach, and we would love to have y'all join us.
Yeah, I remember Thought came in one day a decent bit after we had kind of started establishing a run and just randomly was like, hey, here, I got this, and just blew all expectations out of the water.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's game's super accessible. We'd love to have you. Please join us. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Hope to see you guys soon.
Thanks so much to all of you for being here, for showing off Deada's Disco, and to all of you out there for watching. If you're looking for more high-tempo speedruns and great action, don't go anywhere, because the Games Done Quick channel will be right back with Creature Corner right after.